I'm always excited about when China is going to take over.
But you inspire discussion.
Yeah.
You also participate.
Yeah, I like to. Well, it has depended on which record. This recent one that we did, Sisterworld, I think, is participating more in the discussion.
Which one?
Well, I think just a discussion about how people fit into society, or how it might feel if you don't fit in, and what do you do in that circumstance. And we were in Los Angeles making this record, and it's a really interesting city for that reason, because it seems like, you know, there's an idea of what Los Angeles is, and it draws people in as this kind of paradise where you can, you know, make it as a star or something. And a lot of people don't, you know, and they get rejected. And so it's interesting to see what those people do to sort of survive in that environment. And yeah, it's interesting how society deals with those people. Yeah.
You have though kind of succeeded.
Yeah. Well, it depends on which way you look at it. I mean, I think that for ourselves, you know, you can feel a certain sense of satisfaction in doing the work, but then in a broader scope, it's sometimes hard to see how, you know, we fit in, you know, and you can feel sometimes quite alienated from the culture, you know, because in America particularly, it's all about sort of being happy and optimistic all the time, you know.
That's not what you were about.
Well, I am quite sometimes, but sort of the idea to be sort of permanently, you know, optimistic about things is difficult sometimes if you're not always in line with that, and it can make you feel a little isolated, particularly in a place like LA where people are sort of cosmetically got, you know, smiles on their faces. So it's a strange place to be.
Yeah, because you, let's say the surrounding way you record, it really has an influence on how the record sounds, right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends again, like on how much you want to open your eyes and let it in. You know, we made some records in Berlin before, and for me that actually was kind of less about the environment and more about being shut off from it, because I didn't speak German, and so I guess I had the opportunity to sort of close the world off, you know, so that I wasn't taking in TV or newspapers or things like that. So it gave me the chance to be sort of isolated. So in that way, I wasn't really the city wasn't really, you know, having that much of an influence, but it depends on how you want to use it.
Yeah. The way you feel there.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Berlin?
Oh, so it was almost 4 years.
And you didn't speak German?
No.
So really isolated then,
yeah.
for so long.
But and in a kind of great way. I mean, you know, when I left there, I was living in New York before, and it was very, very intense, I felt, and it was during, you know, Bush and you know, the Iraq War. I felt like you know, going to Berlin, I had the chance to sort of try and block that out. It felt like a big influence on me before, and I wondered whether, you know, why. You know, I'm from Australia, and I don't need to. You know, I questioned why am I living in America? You know, and it was a good opportunity for me to go away from that and sort of do some, I think, work that was a little more introspective. But then certainly after that amount of time, really, of not talking to anybody, you know, I just craved it. And going back to Los Angeles was like drinking in, you know, the media again, you know.
So have you found the answer? Why are you living in America?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's partly this sort of love-hate fascination, you know. It's a really, I mean, I suppose the thing is that I think it's a pretty modern place, you know. It's pretty typical of where the world is going, you know, and I find that I think alluring, and maybe why I went to New York in the first place, you know, to find out where we're going, you know. I always am interested though, you know, that soon, you know, I should maybe go to Beijing or something for that, you know. I'm always excited about when China's going to take over the reins, you know, but Yeah, I think it's that sort of fascination, and I mean, I don't know how long it lasts. You know, it may be in a few years I'm fed up again, and I need to leave. But for now, it's really exciting, and I think, you know, Obama is part of that. It helps to give a new sort of fresh feeling there. Yeah.